So after years of, for some reason, being completely unwilling to go through the entire thing, I finally got around to beating Super Mario Bros. 2, or specifically the Super Mario Bros. Advance port for Game Boy Advance, 2001. The weird one with voice acting, which is a little bit easier because it has parts strewn around everywhere. This is the version I decided to stick with and decided to commit to finishing. And I finally got around to doing it on stream. And the game holds up. Like, it's still. I've always felt this way. I've always said this, but Super Mario Bros. 2 is absolutely an NES classic, even if it does not quite stand up to 1 and 3. Like the true innovators, the truly revolutionary Mario games. But 2 does absolutely have its place in history, since this is a title that sort of established some additional Mario enemies, right? Like, but I think Bob-ombs were introduced here. I think Shy Guys were introduced here. Like Birdo was introduced here. Pokies were in this. Super Mario Bros. 2 is kind of a simple. It doesn't have like the platforming of the original. Like, you have multiple playable characters that all have their own abilities, and levels are way more intricate than the originals. The original Super Mario Bros. Like, you have like these scrolling screens. You can pick up objects. There are sections where you have to like grab a key and race away from this ghost. The boss fights in this are phenomenal. Probably the best out of the NES trilogy, if not like the entire Mario portfolio. I can't think of a single Mario game where I actually had fun fighting the boss fights, because traditionally they've been pretty awful. And one of the things I really thought while playing through this, like, wow, this game is a lot of fun. It could use a remake or a sequel, and that is something that I'm really thinking about seriously right now. Is that, like, Super Mario Bros. 2 has never gotten a true sequel in that regard. It feels like there have been games that have been influenced by it, like 3D World, for example, but like there hasn't been a game that tried to sort of to do exactly what 2 tried to do. There hasn't been like a new Super Mario Bros. 2, like an actual Super Mario Bros. 2 sequel. You know what I mean? Like a Super Mario Bros. 2 2. Like 3, Super Mario Bros. 3 felt like an advancement over 1, but 2 has never really gotten that advancement. Like, yeah, sure, it was influential over like the wider franchise, specifically with like its enemies and things like that, the powers of the characters and stuff like that. But overall, it never really got a true successor, and that's something that I think is kind of disappointing, and something I would actually like to see going forward is maybe some more of these elements are incorporated into modern Mario. I guess that's not really possible. I mean, 3D World, I guess, is the closest thing we're ever going to get. I mean, how can you possibly make a game where you can't jump on your enemies? It just doesn't. That just doesn't mesh well with modern Mario. But I can kind of understand why they haven't done it. Similar to how they haven't made a Zelda 2 sequel yet. But 2 is just, the fact that it's so good, it makes you want to play more of it. Like, and that's kind of why I'm going towards like the remake angle. Like, yeah, take this game and give it more areas and more things to do in it. Like, Advance does not add any additional levels or features. Like, it has like some collectibles that are just strewn about everywhere, which I suppose would be nice for like completionists, like for people who want more out of their Game Boy Advance port of an NES game. It didn't, compared to like Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, my favorite version of the original, which added like a challenge mode, these crazy Game Boy camera features, the versus mode, boo races, like an achievement system. Like, Advance seemed kind of bare bones in comparison. So that's kind of why I'm kind of leaning towards like this or Sunshine being the next Mario game they should remake, completely redo, completely do more things with, add more mechanics, features, things to do. Like really, the sky is the limit with this one, and I think it is a game that absolutely deserves it. This is a game that needs to be talked about and praised more in the current generation. This game needs to have
needs to find a new generation of fans.